Hi friends, it's Amy from One Artsy Mama. Hi, how are you? I'm excited to see you guys joining in this afternoon. It is a rainy day here in Maryland. Thank you for all the hearts, appreciate that. It is a very rainy day here in Artsy Land. Oh, thank you, I love this shirt too. I actually have a blog post about this shirt that I did. I think it was last week one day. 5 different ways to style it. So you'll have to check that out. But yeah, I got it online at Anthropology, and it's The Joy of Living. So turkey, wow, hi, that is fantastic. If you'd like to share with me where you're from, then I would love to know. So go ahead and just type in there. Yeah, I love Anthro too. Just type in there a little comment, hi from wherever you are, and let me know where you're watching from today. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Amy, and I blog at oneartsymama.com. Hey, other Amy. And I like to share honestly doable projects, things that even people who don't feel crafty feel like, hey, I can handle that. So I like to share all kinds of things. Hi, home decor, kids projects, jewelry projects, some basic style posts. Like I was saying, I recently showed 5 different ways to style this shirt. Just simple things that the average everyday person can do. So today I thought I would take some time to share with you guys about my 5 must-have crafting products or supplies that I like to have. If you have ever seen the posts about my craft room, you know that it's completely full of all kinds of things. I have quite a stash, but there are 5 things that I just can't do without. I have to have them. And oh, here comes Little Crafter. Oh, Little Crafter wants to show you something real quick.
Mickey.
He just made Mickey Mouse out of Play-Doh.
I won't let him get hard so I can never be crushable.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm just going to put him...
You put him right there.
Right there.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Little Crafter. So I'm going to be telling you about my 5 must-have DIY supplies. Oh, hi, Scissors. How are you? I saw that you were following earlier today, which is super awesime.
I'm meeting downstairs if I'm going to play. Don't break the ice.
You go downstairs.
Can I watch it after you're done?
You sure can.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I would love to get started telling you. So, if you are ready to hear, yeah, it is a nice mouse. If you're ready to hear the first of my DIY supplies that I can't do without, just type coffee and I'll know that you are ready. In the meantime, I just want to put a little statement out there saying that although I've gotten a lot of, probably all of these products for free, nobody is paying me to say this today. Nobody is paying me to tell you that these are my 5 must-have products. These are just the things that I use and that I love. The way I see it, it's kind of like most people, you know, people with normal jobs, you guys get benefits, you get health benefits or whatever it is. And, you know, my benefit is that I get lots of fun, free stuff to craft with. And so that's sort of a side perk of my job, is that I get stuff to play around with and see how I can use it and show you guys how you can honestly, easily, simply use it too. And so, yeah, that's just one of the perks. So even though a lot of this stuff was sent to me, these are my favorite things. These are the things I use all the time. And again, this is not sponsored at all. This is not anybody telling me what products to feature. This is just me looking around my craft room today and saying, gosh, what is it that I always go to and that I always need to have? So I saw a couple of people typing coffee there, showing me that you're ready. This is my second one today. I already had some Starbucks earlier. This here is International Delight Caramel Macchiato, which I cannot recommend enough. So I think really my #1 must-have is coffee because I can't craft without it. But we're going to start off with Mod Podge. So my #1 gotta have it supply is Mod Podge. And if you're not familiar with it, it is a decoupage formula. And it works like a glue. It works like a sealer. Every time, I just kind of assume that people know what Mod Podge is. Every time that somebody looks at me and says, what is that? It makes me feel sad on the inside. So I want to, if you've never met it, introduce you to Mod Podge. If you have, you know that it's fabulous stuff. Yes, love me some Mod Podge. I do want to point out that it is Mod Podge. It made me crazy one time. I was running a sponsored campaign and people were writing Mod Podge. And I know that it's fun to rhyme. I was an English major, but it's not right. It's Mod Podge. So if you find yourself saying Mod Podge, you need to put a nickel in a jar, save them up, and send it to me, and I'll buy Starbucks with it. So anyway, my favorite formula right here is the Extreme Glitter. because I think that glitter makes everything better, right? I see some hearts there. Heart if you think that glitter makes everything better too. Or yes, I'm more Mod Podge with it. But yeah, so there are lots of different formulas of Mod Podge. Again, extreme glitter is my favorite. There's a regular glitter. They make one that's just sort of general all-purpose, which is honestly what I use the most. There's also a Mod Podge specifically for fabric, which is nice if you're doing, I did a flower pot one time using that. There is an outdoor Mod Podge. So one time I made a sign for Halloween, and I used the outdoor Mod Podge so that it was, held up to the weather a little bit better. There is now a dishwasher safe Mod Podge, so you can use it on things that are going to run through the dishwasher, or even just things that you'd want to hand wash or something like that. And it's more waterproof, and so it protects your projects a little bit better. I really like the dishwasher safe formula. And then there's also one that's DIY like for kids, and it's a special really washable. I mean, I think it's all washable. It's water-based, but there's a special formula just for kids. And Little Crafter is super possessive about that one. I can't show you that because he's like, no, this is mine. It says kids and you are not a kid. So he was very much like, this is my Mod Podge, but that's what he likes to use when we craft together. I like to seal canvases with brushstroke Mod Podge. You are absolutely right. So I want to talk about, actually, that's the perfect segue. I want to talk about ways that you can use Mod Podge. You can use it to seal a canvas, and you can also use it to make some of just the simplest projects that you can imagine. Like I said, it's a sealer and a glue. So one thing, if you have been on the blog this week, you know that I recently threw a baby shower, and what we did for one of the activities, instead of playing a game, was I got those little wooden blocks. They're like 1.5-inch wooden cubes from Michael's. And I just cut squares. I actually have a punch that punches out the squares out of scrapbook paper. And then each guest just got to take one of the wooden cubes, and they just used a sponge brush and applied a little bit of Mod Podge on the flat side, and then just stuck a paper on there. And they did that on the different sides of the cube. And then we had these really cute baby blocks. And then they could use permanent markers to write on it, to sign their name, write a wish for the baby. And then for my son's Minecraft birthday party, we also, I planned a variation of that where the kids could put green or other color. A lot of the characters are green, but we had black, we had other colors for the different creepers and characters, and they Mod Podged them on the different sides of the cube, and then they could draw the faces of the characters. So sadly, honestly, they ended up actually playing the game the whole time and not having time to make the craft. But we do have all the supplies, and I made one, and so I thought it was cute. But that's one thing you can do with Mod Podge. You can also make really easy jewelry. If you get the clear blanks, like the glass tiles, or Mod Podge actually makes like plastic blanks. You can find them in Michael's, or I think Hobby Lobby has them. But anything like that that's like a clear, transparent, square, oval, whatever, just put some Mod Podge on there, and then stick a piece of scrapbook paper or a photo behind it, and then you have an instant pendant that's personalized. So you can use this for a million different kinds of things. We like to do vases and bowls and things for the holidays by tearing up tissue paper, and like say we wanted to cover this cup, what we would do is we would tear up the tissue paper and we would paint this with Mod Podge and then stick the tissue paper all over it, and then you Mod Podge over top. And we've got projects like that on the blog. You can see there's a Valentine vase that's done that way. There are Halloween like little ball ornament kind of things done that way. We have actual Christmas ornaments done that way, and lots of different things. I have a wind chime that I did. We made it out of a Snapple bottle, and we decorated it that way. That was pretty recent, actually, on the blog. And so, yeah, oneartsymama.com, you can see different ways that we've done that. But yeah, so Mod Podge is definitely one of those go-to items, because anytime that I need to seal something or stick something together, I know that this guy will do the job. So that is my number one must-have craft supply. So if that's one of your must-haves, go ahead and put some hearts up there, and let me know that you use that a lot too. All right. So moving on, who's ready for the next one? Another thing, and this is sort of a more recent obsession that I have to have, is chalk paint. How many of you guys like to use chalk paint on your furniture and your projects and things? My favorite kind, I have several different kinds, quite honestly. I have the Plaid brand, I have Martha Stewart brand, which works pretty well. But my favorite is made by DecoArt. It's Americana Decor. And it comes in, I think, 26 different colors, 29, something like that, 20-something different colors. Yes, love chalk paint. So I have used a lot of this. This is called Yesteryear. It's a real pretty gray. My color scheme in the house, if you can't tell, is, oh, you haven't? Okay, so we've got some chalk paint newbies here. My color scheme is teal, yellow, and gray in most of my house. Roxana, you haven't tried it either. Okay, you guys, so chalk paint, here's the thing. It's so stinking easy and you can transform anything, you guys. So what happened is, like I had a really nice coffee table and end table set that we bought when we got married, like almost 14 years ago. And having kids, having people with their kids over and things like that, somehow along the way it got a scratch and then somebody left a cup on there. I promise it wasn't me, but somebody left a cup and we got a nice ring and it just didn't look nice anymore. And I was like, should I give it away? What should I do? No, chalk paint. So this stuff, you don't have to sand, you don't have to prime. All you have to do is take whatever the piece is and paint it with this. A lot of times one coat of Americana Decor is enough. I found that with some of the other brands, you need 2 to 3 coats. A lot of times this stuff will cover unless you have like a really dark wood and you're using a light color. But basically, kitchen table's a disaster. Okay, so I'm going to be redoing my dining room table. For that, I'm waiting for my Ryobi sander to come because I need to sand that down because I spilled acetone on it, so it's not flat anymore. That was a big oops on my part, but basically, all that you have to do is, you know, no priming, no prepping, nothing, just paint with this. An 8-ounce container like this is supposed to cover 60 square feet, I think, which is a lot. So anyway, you paint with this, and then once it's all dry, if you want a darker color, paint over it again. If not, then you're done. And then you just take sandpaper and you just lightly distress it if you want it to have sort of that vintage antique-y kind of distressed look that's real popular right now. If you don't want it to be distressed looking, my husband totally doesn't understand the distress thing. He's always like, why did you paint it just to rub the paint back off? But then he always likes it when it's done. But all you do is just lightly sand in areas where naturally paint would come up. So like around edges and things like that, just real light with the sandpaper, scrape it off just a little bit. And then you have that really great distressed look. And then I like to seal my projects. So DecoArt makes Americana Decor cream wax. So I just take, you know how you always have like one sock and then you lose the other one in the dryer? So I'll take one of my husband's socks and I'll put it on like a mitten and then rub the wax in with my sock mitten. And then that just seals and protects it. So like my coffee table that I was talking about, I actually did it in this light gray. And you can stencil on it if you want to. Like I stenciled a little geometric design on the top. And then my son and his friend, hi, Crafter Pal, who snuck in here. What is your question?
We're trying to play Break the Ice, but I was having a little trouble setting it. Okay,
can you help him?
It's a little confusing. Like the ice is not going right.
Okay, well, I will be down in a couple minutes, okay? Okay. So Crafter Pal and Little Crafter and some other friends, they like to come over and sometimes they'll just, you know, they'll sit their cups on there without coasters and stuff. The same thing that caused the problem in the first place. And you know what? It just wipes right off. So to answer your question there, I really think that it would be. I have not done it on my kitchen table yet. I'm going to do it on my dining room table and I will let you know. But from what I've seen, it just wipes right off. And like yesterday, Little Crafter had one of those Kraft macaroni and cheese, like the little microwave cup things. And he spilled it all over the table that I had done. And I was like, awesome. And again, like I wiped up most of it with a napkin. Then I just took a wet paper towel, cleaned it off, and it's fine, totally fine. So I really think that it would be okay. Don't hold me to that, but I do think it would be okay. Yeah, so definitely give it a try. But seriously, chalk paint is like the easiest thing. And I have redone so many like frames and things. Actually, I'm sitting right here in the guest room and like this right here. This was a Goodwill photo frame. I got this baby for like $1, I think, maybe 50 cents. And I used Krylon Looking Glass spray to turn it into a mirror, which I'll talk about in a minute. But this is just chalk paint on the outside. This was just a really crappy old frame, and it's totally transformed just with the chalk paint. So you can take old photo frames, you can take, I love to go just to the thrift store or to the yard sale and find like bookcases, end tables, anything that people are giving away or throwing away or that's really cheap, and you can just change the look of anything by giving it a fresh coat of this chalk paint. I also found like a giant mirror for on the wall. It's bigger than the one behind me actually, and it was like one of the big gilded things, you know. It was in bad shape around the edges. The mirror part was fine, but the edges looked awful. And it was $5 at Goodwill. And you know those things sell for like $150, $200 at least if you were to buy it somewhere in like a home decor store. I brought it home, put this all around the edges of it, and it is this beautiful, beautiful statement piece in my dining room. So chalk paints. And again, I highly recommend Americana Decor. Nobody's paying me to say that. I'm telling you, I've tested all the different brands, and this is the winner. Okay. So far, hi guys that are just joining in. So far we've got Mod Podge because it can do anything, and chalk paint because it can transform anything and give it new life. All right, number 3. Krylon, you do need to try chalk paint. And if you do, tell me. I want to see what you make because it's so easy. Seriously, start with a photo frame because, I mean, you can't screw that up. Just start it, try it, see how you like it, and then tackle a piece of furniture. Before you paint your own furniture, go just grab something cheap at Goodwill and you'll see. You'll fall in love. You'll want to paint all the things because that's what I want to do. So number 3 is Krylon spray paint. I love this stuff. I used to be afraid of it because I was terrible at it. And then I met the folks from Krylon at CHA, the Craft and Hobby Association mega show, a year ago, January. And I went to them and I said, I want to love your product and I really stink at using it. So please give me tips. Like you do exactly. See, you know the secret and I didn't, is that you have to be really patient and do lots of thin layers, because what I would do is I would just like, come on, cover. And still I have to resist the temptation to do that because I am the most impatient crafter in the world, I think. And I want it done, and I want it done yesterday, not just now, yesterday. So I'm like, I cannot wait for you to dry, but you have to, because otherwise you're just going to ruin your piece. Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard to do. But you want to make sure, first of all, that you're far enough away from your project, because I used to get too close. I used to be like right up on it, like, come on. But you have to be, it'll tell you how far away to stand and do that. And then give it a thin coat and go do something else. Like I have to have something else I can work on in the meantime. So I'll have like a jewelry project or something. So I can go over here and do that and then come back and then do another thin coat and go over there and work on that and then come back and do another thin coat. And really, it doesn't take that long to dry. It's just that I'm impatient. But I love Krylon because you can transform anything. Again, I wasn't even thinking about this, but I happen to have right here, this is another Goodwill frame, and I painted it with this green color because it matches the colors in my guest room. And it totally, again, transformed something that was just going to get thrown away. So you can totally change the look of stuff. They do have chalk paint spray, actually, and I have used it, and that works really well, too. It's a nice way to put it on. It saves you using your brush, but my favorite is the looking glass, and that's what turns things into the mirrored effect. All you do is it works on any glass surface as long as it's transparent, and then you spray the looking glass spray on the back of whatever it is. That part won't get reflective. It'll just look gray, but then when you turn it over, it looks reflective. And it's not like totally perfectly clear like a mirror that you would buy in the store, but it looks kind of vintagey, antique-y, and it's definitely reflective. It gives that mercury glass look. So I've done it on vases, mason jars, stuff like that. And then I do little mirrors like the one that I showed you a minute ago, just to sit around, you know, as decor. So you can see like it's not perfect, but it has that kind of aged look, which is really what I was going for in the decor anyway. And this is my little $1 key that I got at Michael's that looks cute on it. So, but yeah, looking glass is super duper easy to use. I think it's like $10 for the bottle, but it goes a long way, and it's just a really cool effect. But yeah, love me some Krylon. Love to just be able to spray something. What's up?
Hi again.
Hi again.
Are you on the phone?
Almost. Okay, so 2 more quick things, and then I have to apparently go fix a game. Sculpey clay is number 4. So we've got Mod Podge, we've got chalk paint, we've got spray paint, yay Krylon, and we've got Sculpey clay. Polymer clay is awesome because, well, you remember Little Crafter just showed you his Play-Doh Mickey. This guy, he's just either going to get smushed at some point, or he's going to sort of dry out and be cracked and gross, which is sad because it's adorable. But Sculpey makes it so that you can bake your polymer clay and then you could keep that forever, and he could play with it or, you know, do whatever he wants. So I love to have Sculpey. I make jewelry out of this. I make jewelry dishes. We make little figures, characters, like we made a Baymax from Big Hero 6. You can do just about anything with this stuff. Hi, Crafter Pal, they see you. So this, you can put it in molds to make different shapes. You can cut it, you roll it, shape it, make it into anything. So if you go on the blog, there's lots of ideas for things you can do with this. Look under holiday stuff. There's a lot of like Christmas ornaments and things. You can make gift tags. And I'm going to be sharing some things real soon using the Sculpey as well. But jewelry, lots of jewelry. So yeah. There's, oh, Marion Smith did a scope last night on polymer. I'll have to see if I can find that. It should still be up if it was last night. So go check that out. But yeah, polymer clay, you can do virtually anything. And they make so many different colors, and you can mix them, you can marble them. They have glittery ones. So yeah, definitely, definitely polymer clay. And then the last thing is permanent markers. Yeah, it is amazing what you can make. And on Pinterest too, you can just look for polymer clay. It's amazing. But yeah, so permanent markers, some seems kind of basic, but I always find that I need to do something with them. So I like the really fine tip ones if I have to choose, because you can always make a line thicker, you can't make it thinner. But I like to have both, actually. I like the Bic Market markers because they are acid free, whereas Sharpie are not. So if you're scrapbooking and doing things, you know, archival quality stuff, you know, in the long run, it's gonna bleed and get nasty. But if you use acid free ones, then they will be good forever. And yeah, so I like to have a variety of colors, but if you're only gonna have one marker, get a thin one and get it black. And then you can use it for virtually anything. Hi, little Crafter Pal. So I have my assistant back here. But yeah, so this is, we used it to write on those blocks that we Mod Podged. I've written on glass with it. Lots of different things that you can do with a permanent marker. And again, you can totally go on Pinterest, and, you know, a lot of people will just, by, you know, whatever, they'll just write Sharpie in lieu of permanent marker, kind of like people say Kleenex instead of tissue. But again, I would recommend something other than Sharpie so it's acid free. But yeah, if you just search like Sharpie crafts, it's amazing what will come up, and you can personalize anything, write on anything, draw on anything, and just really make it your own. And I also use this when I do my metal stamping jewelry. So you do your stamping and then just use this to color in the impressions. You can use black enamel paint too, but this is quicker and easier. So I like to just go in on the impressions, and then you take a jewelry polishing cloth and just rub the extra off, and it looks oxidized without all the toxicity of actually oxidizing it. So just a quick review. My Super 5 DIY, I would take these on a stranded island products are Mod Podge, gotta have it. Paint all the things with chalk paints, then paint more things with Krylon, make all the things with Sculpey polymer clay, and mark up all the things with permanent marker. So those are my 5s. Love your crafty loves. Well, thank you. I think I need to go and take care of this game that's not working.
No,
do you guys want to say bye?
Bye.
Oh, that is nice. That is very nice.
I actually set it up.
Oh, you fixed it. Good. Look, they love you. Are you tickling me? Oh, that is nice. So everybody say bye to Periscope Land. And only one of these is actually mine. This is my little crafter. And this is our neighbor, Crafter Pal. And sometimes we have baby Crafter Pal's little brother, over here too. So sometimes I feel like I have 3 boys, but I love it. Love it. So I will see you guys later. And I would love to hear about your favorite things. Oh, and before I go, we have started a private Facebook group called One Artsy Mama and Friends. If you search on Facebook for One Artsy Mama and Friends, you'll find us there. And it's just a place to share and chat a little bit, share what you're working on, answer questions, things like that. Give feedback, get sneak peeks. It's cool because Facebook super limits. I have like a 1% reach on Facebook. And thank you, Crafter Bell. Go play your game. So, yeah, so come join our private group, Little Crafter. So anyway, come join our private Facebook group. We would love to see you there. One Artsy Mama and Friends. Peace out, guys.